This is really, really bad. Like, he literally pardoned somebody who was engaging in a seditious conspiracy. Like, they aimed to disrupt the certification process with violence, and he pardoned them. This is stupid. Alright. Trump. Pardon. The J6 rioters.
You can get is
I don't know if there's any specific names or anything, but...
mutations in there where we're doing further research. Nice to see you again. So this is a big one. Anything you want to explain about this? We hope they get them. We hope they come out tonight, frankly. They're expecting it. Approximately 1,500 people. Six commutations.
Were there any cases you did not commute or part of people?
We're looking at different things, but the commutations would be the ones that we'll take a look, and maybe it'll stay that way. Mutations in there where we're doing for.
I'd have to see more specifically who he pardoned.
The research.
President Donald Trump said on Monday that he was issuing roughly 1,500 pardons and commuting sentences of 6 of his supporters in connection with the January 6, 2020 attack on the Capitol, when thousands of them stormed the building amidst false claims that the 2020 election was rigged against him. An attorney for Enrique Tarrio, the Proud Boys leader convicted of seditious conspiracy, told NBC Monday that his client was being processed for release. He pardoned Enrique Tarrio? I had a little bit of hope. I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe he's actually just going to pardon the people that were charged with trespassing. Enrique Tarrio? I need a little bit more substantive something to show that he's free. But if Enrique Tarrio is out, we are fucked. Like, this is someone who literally led a conspiracy to overturn the results of the election. We're so cooked. Like, I don't. This is why I'm crashing out. This is why I'm. Dude, I don't know. I don't know. Okay. I'm gonna go pee real quick, and then we're gonna read this, and we're going to realize that Donald Trump may have just pardoned this motherfucker. On November 12th, 2020, Tarrio posted a message that read, "Fuck unity, no quarter, raise the black flag." On November 16th, Tarrio posted a message, "If Biden steals this election, the Proud Boys will be political prisoners. We won't go quietly, I promise." November 25th, Tarrio posted a social media post by Joe Biden that stated, "We need to remember we are at war with a virus, not with each other." And Tarrio posted, "No, you need to remember that the American people are at war with you. No Trump, no peace, no quarter." From at least or around November 2020, Biggs, Real, and Nordin used their platforms as regional leaders of the Proud Boys to publicly post statements in response to the projected results of the 2020 election. Biggs posted, "It's time for a fucking war if they steal this shit. No bitch, this is war." On December 12th, Tarrio and other members of the Proud Boys attended an election-related rally, sometimes referred to as the Million MAGA Rally, in Washington, D.C. The December 12th rally was organized as a protest of the presidential election, and the date of the protest coincided with the certification of the Electoral College results in the 50 states. While in Washington, D.C. on December 12th, the Proud Boys leaders, or several Proud Boys, were involved in an altercation in which Proud Boys members were injured, including a knife wound suffered by person 1. I think that's Tarrio. Or no, that's probably the first unnamed person. While in D.C. on December 12th, Tarrio participated with a group that included members of the Proud Boys in the theft and destruction of a banner that read #Black Lives Matter, which was property of the Asbury United Methodist Church in Washington, D.C. December 17th, 2020, Tarrio posted a message on social media in which he admitted that the person responsible for the burning of that banner. Oh, he was the person. Tarrio claimed that he took action because he would not stand by and watch them burn another city. Tarrio ended the message by saying, "Come and get me if you feel like what I did was wrong. We'll let the public decide." December 19th, 2020, plans were announced for the Stop the Steal protest in Washington, D.C. on January 6th to coincide with the Congress's certification of the Electoral College votes. Beginning in December 2020, Tarrio and a handful of other members of the Proud Boys created a new chapter for the Proud Boys that would consist of members across the country. This new chapter was referred to as the Ministry of Self-Defense. Tarrio described the Ministry of Self-Defense as a national rally planning chapter that would include only hand-selected members. The small group of lawyers in the Ministry of Self-Defense, or the MOSD, included Tarrio, Nordine, Biggs, Rail, and Donahue. Immediately after forming the MOSD, Tarrio and the leadership of the MOSD began preparations for January 6th. Tarrio also created an encrypted messaging group for MOSD leaders, where MOSD leaders could communicate. On January 4th, Tarrio was arrested in Washington, D.C. and charged with destruction of property and possession of 2 large-capacity magazines in D.C.'s Superior Court. He was briefly detained after his arrest. Tarrio was released at approximately 5 p.m. on January 5th after having been ordered to leave the District of Columbia. Tarrio did not immediately comply with the order to leave the District of Columbia after being turned away from Phoenix Park Hotel. Tarrio traveled to a nearby underground parking garage, where he met Elmer Stewart Rhodes III, the founder and leader of the Oath Keepers, and other individuals known and unknown to the grand jury for approximately 30 minutes. During this encounter, a participant referenced the Capitol. Thereafter, Tarrio left D.C., traveled to Baltimore, Maryland. Subsequently, Tarrio designated MOSD members and other individuals whose identity are known and unknown carried the MOSD leadership's objective. Conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding. That sounds familiar. Okay. They knowingly conspired to conspired, confederate, and agree with each other and other persons known and unknown to the grand jury to corruptly obstruct, influence, and impede an official proceeding that is the certification of the Electoral College vote. The purpose of this conspiracy was to stop or delay the certifications. Manner and the means is the interesting part. Tarrio, Nordine, Biggs, Reel, Donahue, and Pizzola, with others whose identity are known and unknown to the grand jury, carried out the conspiracy through the following manner and means, among others, by encouraging members of the Proud Boys and others to attend the Stop the Steal protest in Washington, D.C., using websites, social media, and other electronic communications to raise funds to support travel and equipment purchases for the trip to Washington, D.C., obtaining paramilitary gear and supplies, including concealed tactical vests, protective equipment, and radio equipment, dressing incognito on January 6th rather than wearing Proud Boy colors that had been prominently displayed at previous events, traveling to Washington, D.C., engaging in meetings and encrypting communications in Washington, D.C. in the days leading up to January 6th, and on the morning of January 6th to plan the January 6th attack. By the way, when somebody says, like, oh, it was an insurrection with no weapons, paramilitary gear and supplies, including concealed tactical vests and protective equipment, by the way. Using programmable handheld radios, encrypted messaging applications, and other communications equipment to communicate and coordinate the January 6th attack, directing, mobilizing, and leading members of the crowd onto Capitol grounds and into the Capitol, dismantling metal barricades that have been deployed to demarcate a restricted area to protect law enforcement and the occupants of the Capitol, storming past barricades, Capitol Police, and other law enforcement officers in efforts to disrupt the proceedings at the Capitol, destroying property, and assaulting law enforcement officers. On December 19th, 2020, shortly after plans for the rally on January 6th were publicly announced, Biggs sent a private message to Tarrio in which they stated that the Proud Boys recruit losers who want to drink. Biggs suggested, let's get radical and get real men. The next day, Tarrio created an encrypted messaging group called MOSD, which included Nordine, Biggs, Rail, Donahue, Person 2, Person 3, and Person 1, was subsequently added to the group for the MOSD leaders. Tarrio explained that the MOSD was a national rally planning committee of the Proud Boys that would include hand-selected members. On December 20th, Person 3 posted a message, thoughts on Destiny being canceled. He probably deserves it. His statement on it was really bad. If you want to rewind the VOD, I talked about it. Message to MOSD leaders group that stated, I am assuming most of the protest will be at the Capitol building, given what's going on inside. Tarrio announced that the leadership of the MOSD would reside in two three-man councils that would work together. The marketing council consisted of Tarrio, Biggs, and Nordine. The operations council included Real, Person 3, other members of the MOSD leadership, and Donahue. Person 1 and Person 2 were designated as regional leaders. On December 27th, 2020, Tarrio created another encrypted messaging group to recruit potential members of the MOSD. Tarrio stressed that members of the chapter were expected to follow directions of MOSD leadership, which included Tarrio, and others emphasized by telling members, among other things, to fit in or fuck off. They want to limit presence so they can deny Trump has the people's support. We cannot let them succeed. This government is run for the people, by the people. Congress needs a reintroduction to that fact. December 27th, Nordine created an online crowdfunding campaign, solicited donation for protective gear and communications to be used by the Proud Boys, shared a link to a crowdsourcing campaign on his social media page, and encouraged others to share it to their social media pages. Tarrio posted a message in the MOSD prospect group in which he stated that the DC trip would consist of two groups, the MOSD and everyone else, and that no one should be in colors. Tarrio posted a message on social media that the Proud Boys planned to turn out in record numbers on January 6th, but this time with a twist. We will not be wearing our traditional black and yellow. We will be incognito, and we will spread across DC and smaller towns, and who knows, we might dress in all black for the occasion. To notify prospective members of a virtual meeting on December 30th to explain how all this works, Tarrio advised the group that the MOSD will have top-down structure and advise prospects that if that's something you're not comfortable with, that they should not bother attending the live session. Advised that the upper-tier leadership would consist of a three-person operations selected and led by Rail. Pizzola sent a direct message to Tarrio on an encrypted messaging system saying, "Hey boss, I'm one of the guys bringing down the decorative shields. I'll be in DC with a few other brothers from MY." Pizzola traveled to North and South Carolina to visit Person 1. Pizzola brought with him a decorative shield to present to Person 1. On December 30th, 2020, an individual sent Tarrio a 9-page document entitled 1776 Returns. The document sent forth a plan to occupy a few crucial buildings in Washington, D.C. on January 6th, including the House and Senate office buildings around the Capitol, with as many people as possible to show our politicians we are in charge. After sending this document, the individual stated the revolution is important than anything. That's what every waking moment consists of. I'm not playing games. Okay. That's a big one. Okay. So we'll do page 12. Save page 12. Tarrio convened a video call for prospective members of the MOSD, advised that the MOSD were to follow commands of the leadership. Once again, Tarrio and others of the MOSD leadership advised the members fit in or fuck off, and that January 6th was going to be a completely different operation, and that the Proud Boys would not be conducting a night march and flexing our arms and shit. Posted a link to an online fundraiser with the campaign name, travel expenses for the upcoming Patriot events. Tarrio posted a picture of Pizzola from the December 12th event in Washington, along with a picture. Tarrio posted Lords of War, hashtag J6, hashtag J20. Okay. Now that we... Okay. This is probably enough. Now that we know what we're looking at, I'm going to read the rest, but not right this second. Do we have Enrique confirmed being pardoned? I guess. Enrique Tarrio, a Miami native, convicted on felony charges of seditious conspiracy for his role in plotting the January 6, 2020 attack on our capital, has been released from a 22-year prison sentence amongst a sweeping declaration of pardons by Donald Trump. In all, Donald Trump commuted the sentence of 14 people for their role in the attack, but then he issued a full, complete, and unconditional pardon to all other individuals convicted of offenses related to the events that occurred at or near the Capitol. Tarrio has been the chairman of the Proud Boys. Floridian was seen... We're cooked, boys. You got pardoned. We're cooked. I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, we're fucked. I might hold a TikTok live just because of how cooked we are. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, we have this person literally engaging in seditious conspiracy, and he's pardoned. He just got pardoned by Donald Trump. I don't know what to say. I'd like to know what anybody in the server thinks. This is terrible. I don't even know. I don't know. We're just gonna sit and we're gonna stew over this for a little bit. You bud, hope you can keep your head up. It's tough, man. This is really, really bad. Like, he literally pardoned somebody who was engaging in a seditious conspiracy. Like, they aimed to disrupt the certification process with violence, and he pardoned them. Like, this is fucked. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, this is fucked. Like, I don't know what to say. And the fact that, like, people don't realize, like, just how bad this is. This is really bad. These freaks are gonna get cocky about how they got pardoned, or the other Trumpers gonna turn on them. I don't know. We've sent the message that, like, law doesn't matter. Like, the fact that we heard months and months and months of hearing about the Hunter Biden pardon and radio silence. I guarantee you no one's gonna cover this. This is insane. We need to realize, stay vigilant, keep calling this shit out. I plan to, but fuck. Like, I don't know. This is... We're fucked. I don't know. Like, I wish, I agree that we need to stand strong, but I wish people had a little bit more foresight to realize that, like, we all saw this coming. We all knew that this was exactly what was going to happen. We all saw this pardon coming. We all knew what he was accused of. I think everyone knows it's him being a different case, not rule of law being dead. Well, I mean, if we're making huge exceptions for what's supposed to be the figurehead of our country, like the role model of what America should be, we're making exceptions so he can just break laws whenever and pardon people who were accused of trying to engage in violence to overturn the election for him. And then he pardons them, and people cheer for him. Look throughout history. Fuck, I keep clicking off. Throughout history, there are always inflection points like this. Yeah, but I don't even think, like, the problem is that I don't know what's going to be an inflection point anymore. I don't know what Trump has to do in order for Trump supporters to be like, holy shit, wait a second, you know? It's clearly not him, like, fucking showing contempt for the Constitution. It's not him doing all this crazy shit, calling J6 the day of love. It's, you know, I don't know what that inflection point is. I don't know. We're fucked. I don't know. Like, this sucks. I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know. They're going to turn on him. They already did with the Visa BS, but they did. I don't even think they did turn on him. They just turned on Elon. They turned on Elon, but Donald Trump is just gonna, like, I don't think anybody's turned on Donald Trump. I think Donald Trump's almost, like, able to escape anything. I don't know. It just feels like any criticism of Donald Trump is so minuscule.